This show is brought to you by Databril, the scalable Amazon PPC management for large Amazon sellers and brands. Visit sellersessions.com/agency for more details. Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Again, we bring back Liran. How you doing, mate?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. What have you been up to? We've got a few things to talk about today.
Yeah, so working on a few things in my business. The first thing is that we've kind of completely revised our email sequence process. I know you've spoken about, the open rates and, how valuable is it to, pay these software companies to send out all these emails when a lot of customers are opting out. And so,
So basically, just to give people back history, me and Paul dived into this, and the thing what we were looking at is that you've got the local blacklist and you've got historic blacklist, and then you've got the amount of emails that are sent and that actually get delivered, and then you've got obviously the ones that open. Now, from our calculations and speaking to a number of these companies, and that's not to blame the companies, but it doesn't actually produce true open rates on there, because you might have a situation, say you send 100 emails, 60 of those could go on the blacklist. You've got a 10% open rate because obviously the open rates have been going down, depends on products, your subject line and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you might end up with actually only 4 people opening the mail, but you're being charged for 100 mails to be sent in most cases. But I'm interested to hear what you're doing now, because instead of doing, a lot of people do 2 to 3 mails. You want to narrowing it down to 1. Do you want to go into that for us?
Yeah. So, for the last year, we've had about 3 emails go out. One, one when the product is shipped out, another one like a week after they get the product, another one like 3 weeks later, just, following up and trying to get the reviews. And what we've done is kind of changed our mindset about, instead of just emailing them and saying, hey, just like everybody else does, like, hey, we're small business, we could really use your, review, like, here's the link, blah, blah, blah. We are making our subject line very catchy, something that to get the person's attention, and sending 1 email. And the email we send is actually 1 day after the product is delivered, because Amazon already sends out an email when the product ships. You don't need to do that. It's also helped us narrow down our cost for the emails that we send out with the software, because we're only sending out 1 email per order. And what we've done is, and before we used to send this like value-added PDF with each product. Now we've just narrowed it down, got rid of the PDF, same email to everybody. And we have like a product tag that mentions the product name that they bought through like Feedback Genius. And basically the entire point of the email is, one, to prevent a negative review. So you want to get to the person super quick. So it's 1 day after delivery, where typically I would want to wait 3 or 4 days for the person to open the package, maybe review the product. If there's any problem, before they write a negative review, before they go to Amazon to return or whatever, I want to get to them. So I make it, 1 day after delivery. So maybe they've gotten the box, maybe they haven't even opened it yet, but I want to make sure they have my email first. And the entire point of the email is what I would call the open feedback loop. The point is to get the customer to respond, back to you. Now, I don't want to give you the exact text of my email, obviously, because if everyone starts sending out the same email, it's not going to be effective. But try to think of a way, what can I send in this email that's going to make the customer want to respond back and just send me something back, right? And that's what we've done. And we're not asking for a review. There's no links. There's nothing in the email. It's just getting them to respond back. Then we can follow up asking for the review. And we already know have opened the email, and so they're much more likely to kind of open our next email as a follow-up response to it. And what we try to do is respond as fast as possible once we get that email. So once we get that email back to them, it's a manual process, but my assistant will do it during the week. If it's during the weekend, I'll do it myself. Sometimes 10 o'clock at night, I get an email back from a customer. I'll respond right back because I know they're at their phone on their computer right there and then. And if I respond back asking for that review, then I'm much more likely to get it. And there's this thought out there that, nobody's opening up their emails anymore. Everyone's unsubscribed. But once we started to change this email that we're sending out, we're getting a lot of responses a day. Now, I don't know what you consider a lot, but we're getting at least, like, I would say somewhere around 10 responses a day from customers responding to the email, which is a lot better than we got before with 3 emails. And then we can follow up asking for the review. So I think there's still a benefit in sending out these emails to customers, and I think it's really how you craft the message, the subject line. And that's been something that I think has been working well for us. And even our response back to the customer, I'll try to use some psychological triggers to get the person to write the review. So for example, one thing I've done is whenever, like if a customer writes me back like, yeah, I love the product or it's great, write back like, oh, thank you so much. Like here's if we could take a minute to leave a review. And then in parentheses, I'll put in like, and my boss will really like it too, with a smiley face, right? I don't know, just some like emotional connection, like make them feel guilty or like they're doing us a favor or something, like when they put that review in. And so I think it's a lot about how you craft the subject in that original email subject line, very important in the email.
So to ask you a question without asking the exact text, are we saying here you're using the subject line whereby you're starting, you're framing it so you're asking a question? Because obviously that's first part of the attribute of getting them to respond.
Yeah.
In the message, is the message really short? Because I think a lot of people, they go, yeah, I'm a small business and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. The message is very short. And yes. And in fact, I start the message off with something like, hey, I know you're really busy, so I'm going to keep this email short, ... And then I also ended off with like a PS, because a PS is like a psychological thing where you can add more, but they already think they're done reading the email. And so it doesn't seem as long. So I do have a little PS in there. And the subject line, think of something like just 1 minute, or I don't know, something just that's gonna get them to open the email. Think about something that will that can trigger curiosity.
Action required.
Something like that. Something that's going to trigger the curiosity. Curiosity is one of those psychological principles. If you look at every marketer's good marketers' emails, they will use curiosity in their subject lines to get you to open. And it's kind of the same thing with.
But you know this as well. It's very key. There's that blend between being clever, and over manipulation, so it becomes creepy.
You're right. And so if I probably put like emergency situation in the subject line, I can get a lot of people to open it, something like that. But then it's going to piss off the customer when it's not an emergency, right? Yeah. So you can't really you can't cross the line. You got to toe the line between curiosity, but not making it something totally outrageous where they'll be mad when they open the email.
Do you know what? It's funny you should say that. So when we get to the end of the week, and obviously we record 3 shows a week, right? We send like a roundup mailer for people, so they might not catch all the shows, so they pick up when and I always make sure we never ever in the subject line mention anything, even if we've done a show on suspensions, that never gets mentioned in the subject line, because I imagine the panic that an Amazon seller has.
Oh yeah.
So you can imagine what a customer panic is like when they bought a product and you've put something in the subject line. I can see why that would piss them off.
Yeah. And like there's certain things I see marketers doing that I wouldn't do. Like I see marketers sending subject line that starts with RE, like they're responding back to your email when they're not. I don't like that. I wouldn't do that. But think of a subject line that's going to trigger curiosity. Not something like your Amazon package is on its way, or how did you like our product, or people are just going to delete that, right? Yeah. So you want to think of curiosity, and then think of an email that you can craft that can trigger back a response from the customer.
Do you use emojis at all?
I have used emojis in the past in subject lines. When I did it this time around, I just didn't. But I have used it. I would say, that's another smart thing to add in that could again catch the attention of the person kind of browsing through their email.
Cool. So we covered the subject line. We're keeping it nice, short, and sweet. We're not going to be no creepy copy, but obviously you're trying to trigger curiosity with them. So what does the follow-up email look like? I mean, you pointed out a really good thing there. It's conversion is about speed. So like what you said, as soon as that mail comes in, you drop everything and you instantly respond, because they're in the moment. And that's going to be the most time that you're going to capture. Because a lot of things they say, like, say for instance, you're running a service-based business, you're driving ads and you're getting leads, inbound inquiries. They say that for every 30 minutes that goes past, your conversion rate will drop by 50%.
Wow. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. So, so as soon as we get a response back, and let's say the response back is like, I love the product, or I'm, bought this for my daughter as a gift. She loves it, or I'm going to give it to her next week. Our response will be something like, thanks so much for letting us know. We'd really appreciate it if you could take a minute to write a review so other shoppers can see it as well. So I always like to give a reason why when you're asking someone. Again, another like psychological thing, just give a reason why. And again, I've put something like, my boss really likes it too, or, or you could put also like our business, like basically to compete on Amazon, you need reviews. It doesn't matter. Just like try to connect with the person on doing you a favor, because essentially that's what it is, right? It's a favor. They're not getting anything in return. But now you've started a conversation and they're connected with you, and I think they're more likely to do it rather than just a blanket, email. And so, for example, like my signature line also has like Chief Happiness Officer, right? And somebody wrote me back like, oh, Chief Happiness Officer, every company should have one, right? So I also try to have a little bit of like a humor to it, to entertain a little bit, engage the person. And when we write back like something like, my boss really likes it, or like, you can put something like, the Amazon gods love reviews. I don't know. So just make something up, right? That's going to be like humorous, and maybe we'll get the person to say like, all right, this is a cool company, or, this is a nice guy, or whatever. I'm going to write a review for him.
Yeah. Sounds good. Elsewhere, what other tests you've been running?
So another thing we've been doing is with Amazon giveaways, and actually saw another company do this, and we're going to test this along with a few other things. It's good practice if you go to the Amazon giveaways and kind of see what the competition is doing with these giveaways. And you could probably pick up some good tactics. So there's the page with Amazon giveaways, all the different sweepstakes that you can enter. And you can set these up yourself by going to the public Amazon page. If you've never done it, scroll to the bottom on the product, and you can set up an Amazon giveaway. And you can actually give away your own product. You can give away somebody else's product too, which could be another strategy to potentially build an email list before you even launch in a similar niche, for example. But something I saw another company doing that we're going to test, and I can share what we've already tested, but something I saw, I went to a company that had this like laser tag product, and it was an Amazon giveaway. And with the Amazon giveaway, you can force a customer to either you can have them do nothing and just enter, or you can force them to do one of a few different things, like follow you on Twitter maybe, or watch a YouTube video. So this company had watch a YouTube video. You have to watch 30 seconds of a video before you can enter. And the YouTube video was, hey, for a second chance to win, visit, this website. Visit this link. And so, obviously I lost on the contest because it's like 1 in 1,000 wins. And then you go over to their website and they have an opt-in page like, hey, here's a second chance to win our product. And they're building an email list off the Amazon giveaway. And I don't think there's anything against terms of service with this. Amazon doesn't mention anything about it. You can put a YouTube video. So obviously you're directing people to outside of Amazon. Amazon allows it. And they're building an email list off the Amazon giveaway. So I think that's a brilliant strategy. And then they're following up with an email sequence. Another thing that we just started doing is giving people a coupon code in a YouTube video and sending them to your storefront. So like you show them one of your products that you're doing on the giveaway, and then you make them watch a YouTube video that says, hey, check out all of our products like in this niche at our Amazon storefront, like amazon.com/your brand name, and use this code for 30% off coupon code. And so again, that's another strategy to get people to your storefront. There's literally thousands of people. You don't need to do anything to promote these giveaways. People just sort of find them. And you literally will have, 2,000-3,000 people. If you're giving away just one unit of your product, you probably have 2,000-3,000 people entering the contest. And then that's all those people are watching their YouTube video and potentially going to your storefront and buying product. Some of the other things
that's almost a free way of driving eyeballs, isn't it? In theory,
absolutely.
You're only giving out, the giveaway. Sure. Another little one that I wanted to cover quickly with you there. While we're on YouTube, and you may have tried this yourself, I don't do any influencer marketing stuff personally, but what I did stumble across the other day, because when I run obviously AdWords, so I'll do paid search ads, I'll do display retargeting, and one of the things that I was playing around with again the other day was using YouTube ads. Now, you can really burn cash on YouTube ads, but placement ads work really well. So basically, you're able to go in, set up your campaign. Now, even if you don't plan to run video ads, what it can be good for is to find influencers, because when you go in and you set up a video ad on on AdWords, you can go in and do a search with your keywords on a channel. So you might want to say Amazon FBA, and that will find all the Amazon FBA channels. And it's the same again, it'll give you a massive long list of videos as well. So it's another way of going to do outreach. So you might be in the sports niche and you might sell skipping ropes or then rollers, etc. You can start finding sport related channels to do giveaways, and then you can work back off of video views and just cut and paste a big long list with the URLs. Then that way you can start to find all the different influencers within the platform without actually running any ads.
Right, that's really good. And then basically just do outreach to those influencers to promote your products. Yeah,
exactly. It's one of the, I mean, obviously you can use the search algorithm on the page, but I found this to be much tighter in terms you work out all the keywords that you want to search with, make a long list, and then just start going through placement videos, because these are the suggestions that are coming up by YouTube, and generally they've got high viewership on those.
Right. Yeah, it's a great idea.
And then you want to just kind of filter those by how recent the video was and how the ratio of how many views they are. So you might have 1 million views on a video and it was published 3 months ago.
Yeah, and it's a great tip. One of the things, so we do some influencer things, and one of the things that we found is it's kind of all over the map with, like, some people, you know, we had a person with like 70,000 followers on Instagram. They didn't want any money. They just took the product, right, in exchange for a video post with our product. And so the lesson I would say is that you don't necessarily need to pay. You know, it's funny, my assistant was telling me today, we reached out to a person that had like 11,000 followers or something, and they wanted like $750 for a post, which is like ridiculous for somebody, you know, on Instagram with like 10,000 followers. But then we reach out to somebody with 70,000, they'll do it for free. And so, you know, I think there's a big opportunity with influencer marketing, and if you do it consistently, you can find people who will, you know, just in exchange for free product, just you know, talk about your product. And
I do like the idea of influencer marketing, but for me, it's boom and bust cycles. It's like, I've spoken to other people in the space and it's agreeable. You know, it's like you want to find 5 or 6 that you rotate, because once you've got interest from that audience, the returns diminish after, because the audience doesn't grow in double every time. If you are in like the sports niche, then, and you want to do a campaign every couple of months, then you want to find 6 influencers. And that's great. You can then go back to them the following year, because hopefully their audience is double. So you're getting the same return, because the price probably won't change.
Right.
Your price goes up if there is a price, rather than down, because the returns on investment will be lower because you've already had exposure to that audience.
Right. No, and that's it's a great concept. One of the big benefits of doing YouTube, and an additional benefit, is that you can go and you can download that video. And sometimes an influencer will do like a 20-minute video and talk about your product for 2-3 minutes. You can download the video and edit it, and then you can upload it to video shorts on your listing. And so you can get sort of like more bang for your buck when you're using YouTube, or if you get an Instagram person to do a video on your product. What I do is on the iPhone, you can there's actually a screen recording option in the accessibility features within the iPhone, and I can actually record my screen. So if they do like an Instagram story that's going to disappear within 24 hours, I make sure I get it right away, record it, and we'll add that also into video shorts, or I'll ask them to send me the video clip itself. But getting video either on Instagram or YouTube is always really good, because you could then use it also as video shorts. And, you know, it's very easy to get 6-7 influencer videos, and then you kind of line up your listing with 6 or 7 videos. Which, speaking of, just to go on a little rant here with video shorts, I've had some competitors put totally unrelated products on my video shorts.
Really?
And very frustrating. And I go in and I report. You can click on the video and click product and report it as unrelated to your product. I actually recently have a case open right now with violation or whatever, because this one brand is just going to like several of my products. Totally, it's a bamboo, bamboo cutting board,
Right.
and they're like totally unrelated to my products, and they're just going and like putting it on my video shorts. And it's kind of upsetting. And I went to retaliate and put one of my products on their things, and Amazon rejected it. But their videos are showing up on mine. But I plan to, if Amazon doesn't take action, I will probably go and post all my videos on their videos on their
Crazy.
list.
I don't know exactly what niche you're in, but I mean, how relatable is the product?
It's not related at all.
Yeah.
Think of a kitchen glass and a bamboo cutting board, like totally not related. It's like some kind of bamboo cheese thing or something. And it's just not related to my product at all. And I have these like great influencer videos there that I've put up. And then in the middle is like a couple of like these really annoying things that are unrelated. So I would say if you're going to use that tactic, do it to Amazon's products, not on other private label sellers, because they'll probably do like me, either report you or go try and put their products on your listings and retaliate. So do it to Amazon.
How you finding the video shorts? If you think, is that had a knock-on effect? Did you measure pre and post for conversion?
I think it's had a positive effect. I think especially on mobile, it's much more prominent on mobile than it is on desktop. And then I would also say that when you have several of them on desktop, it takes up more space and it's more noticeable for somebody to watch it. So I would say it's definitely worthwhile, especially if you're already doing influencer marketing and you're already, think about, okay, I want to get a video from this person because then I could take this. There's a link. You could probably put it in the description of the video. There's a link where you can post basically your any video you want upload to video shorts. And so you might as well, especially if you're already doing influencer marketing, you're getting people to do these videos for you for free. Then you can use apps or like 4K video downloader. It's a free software to download their video and just splice up the part, where they talk about your product.
Great. Good idea. Is there anything you want to add before we go?
Anything I want to add? I'll be, if you happen to be in Australia, I'll be in Retail Global. I think it starts like the 22nd or 23rd of May in Australia, Gold Coast. So I'll be there. We'll be doing an Amazon workshop there. The day before it starts, you can sign up for it. So you can check it out. I think it's retailglobal.au or just Google Retail Global. But I'll be there. So yeah, if you're in Australia, come say hello. Myself and Andy will be speaking at the show.
Cool. And what about if people want to reach you, consultancy, that kind of stuff?
So you can email me, Liran, Liran, at amazingfreedom.com, or find me on Facebook, and you can private message me there.
Excellent. Great. Thanks for joining me today. Guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again very soon. Take care.